appreciate you allowing me to come over today to talk about listing your property, and so I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Just wanted to put that out there. And listen, I want you to make sure that you know that I want you to feel comfortable today that I'm here as a consultant, really to give you accurate information so that you can make the decision that's best for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
of course.
All right, great. And I know I have some notes here. You mentioned some concerns about the price and making sure that you got the highest price possible, right?
Yeah, $575.
Yeah, so we're going to take a real close look at what the market's doing so that ultimately you can get the best price that the market has to yield. Okay, so we'll make sure that we're on the same page with that. And basically we'll go over everything that you'll need to know so that you can feel comfortable and understand that I'm the right agent to help you, and that you can feel comfortable moving forward with that. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
All right,
that's fine.
good. Now, just to make sure that we're on the same page, I want to look at 3 things specifically today, right? The first 2 we're going to make sure is making sure that I understand what's important to you. And we're going to go over those questions in a moment in regards to some of the things I asked you before, right? So making sure I understand that I'm on your side, I'm on the same team, so that we can get you across the finish line. That's super important for me to know what's important to you. And the second thing, Dan, we're going to look at is the market and what that's going to give you and how long that will take. Okay? And making sure that you see specifically the MLS, the multiple listing service, and where that data comes from, so that you know you have all the information in front of you that you need. Okay?
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. And then third, if we need to, what I'll do to make sure that you get what you're looking for in regards to the activities that I'll be involved with. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now let's jump into the some of the questions that I had asked you before. Now you're moving to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, family's already there. So.
Yeah, everyone's already left like a couple weeks ago. Wow. So they're looking forward for you to be there. Now you're actually going to head to Atlanta after that, within the next couple of days, right? And then it's really important for you to have somebody who can handle everything that needs to happen on this side.
Yeah.
So you don't
I
have to
don't
worry
want to
about
have to be coming back here.
Right. Good. Well, I'm glad I'm here, an experienced agent, to make sure you get what you need. So in a perfect world, obviously, the sooner the better on the house sold, with making sure that we keep in mind, being able to get the highest price possible.
Right.
Good. Okay. And as far as how much you'd like to sell for, you said you were thinking $575 as what the market was doing.
Right.
Right. Okay. And you said you really didn't want to go too far below 550 range. Somewhere.
Yeah,
in
definitely
there.
not.
Okay.
No, definitely want to be as close to 570, 575 as possible.
And as far as what happens if the property doesn't sell, you're not planning on renting it out, right?
Oh no, we've done a lot of upgrades.
Yeah.
We wouldn't leave this in the hands of a renter or a tenant. Not a chance. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely sell. It's just a matter of finding that one person who's willing to pay our price, $575. So.
Right. And I agree with you. Based on the condition of the property, the upgrades that you've done to it, you really just want to sell the property and not have to worry about it. So
yeah, we want someone who's going to appreciate the things that we've done. So
right, exactly. Okay. All right. So with that, let's jump into what's happening with the market price-wise. Okay, and what the market's doing actually. Right? Did you have any other questions or concerns before we moved on?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is just making sure that we get the most money we can out of it. So.
Right. Right. Okay. So as far as price on the property, let's first consider pricing versus value, right? So when we're talking about pricing something, or the price of something versus value, how do you think that affects the sale of a home when you're talking about price versus value? How would you describe that?
I don't know. Do you mean just like value being how it compares to other houses, or?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So when you price something, right, there's a certain price on something, and is cheaper always better?
No,
Right.
I mean, I guess I see what you're saying now. Price being like, I don't know, if something could be priced good, but it might not be a good value. It might not be something that I would necessarily want to buy just because the price is a certain number.
Yeah. And geez, that's important when you're talking about hiring the right agent, as far as having a full service brokerage. So I'm honored to have you have me here. But as far as pricing the property, buyers are really looking at how much they get in features and benefits and then they compare that to the price, right? Is that what you did when you bought this house?
Yeah, for the most part. I
Right.
mean, it was a little different for us just because we bought it, it wasn't in great shape, so we were just looking for the best deal. So then we put a lot of the upgrades that we wanted into the house. So
Yeah.
we found something that was a good price and thought
Right.
it was a good deal.
Yeah, and so buyers, just like you did, always start with price, with the pre-qualification, right? And they always end with price, Dan, as far as looking at the features and benefits, weighing it against the other properties that are on the market or that have sold, because they're probably looking at properties that have sold to make sure that they're getting a good deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I still feel like if they found the right house, they would, be willing to pay the price. But
Right, definitely. So weighing features and benefits obviously is a big thing, and we're going to jump into what that means. So obviously there's some key factors on what we can control. We can control the price we set on the property, right? And we can control the condition of the home. I mean, we really don't have to worry about that. The property's in excellent shape.
Yeah, we
Right.
take care of that.
What we can't control is location, or maybe something like lot size. Now, for a property that's 5,000 square feet, would you say this lot size is pretty big or a little bit more on the smaller side?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about this price range, right, $500,000-$600,000, there's custom homes in this price range, right? You know that,
Yeah.
right? So there's competition in regards to what we have to consider, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some nice houses here. So.
Right, and that's the other thing we can't control, right? We can't control competition,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yeah, and then finally market conditions, right? Market conditions as far as what the market's doing and what the market will yield. Can we really control that?
No, I mean, I just hope that you do the best that you can.
Yeah.
As far as
Sure.
I would expect that at least, but yeah, I guess if you mean just the buyers themselves, we can't force them to do anything.
Yeah, as far as what they're paying in regards to top dollar.
Right.
Right. And so with pricing, obviously understanding how important price is, the timing of how long your market's how long your home's on the market. How do you think timing affects your property being on the market?
Well, I guess it's not good for it to be on for a long time.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that real quick, right? So you see here week 4 and 5 starts to drop off, and we see a big influx of market activity the first month, really, right? Yeah. So once your property's on the market for more than 4 or 5 weeks, how do you think that affects the buyer's perception of value for your home? How do you think that's affected?
Oh, it's not good. They're going to start writing lower offers and see if they can steal it. So.
Right. And so just that, right? When you're shopping around, you see a property's been on the market 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I mean, automatically you think what?
Maybe there's something wrong with it.
Right.
Or I don't know. Maybe it's issue with the price. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I agree with you. I think we want to get it sold as fast as possible, so that would be great.
Right.
So that's why I think being priced at $575, I think that's an attractive price for getting it sold pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I would think the same thing if I was you. So let's take a look at that in a moment here on the price. And then one more thing before we jump into the market values as far as what the market's doing. So how many buyers ultimately I'm responsible for in regards to driving to your home, right, is going to affect the demand of your home, right? How many people making offers, all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so based on this little scale here that you can see here, right? Fair market value attracts approximately how many of the buyers looking on the market?
60%, so more than half.
Yeah, and so why would you think that more or less look based on you pricing it over or under market value? Why do you think that happens?
Well, if someone can't afford it, I guess they wouldn't bother looking at it. Or if, I mean, this makes perfect sense. If it's trying to get rid of it and they're desperate, then everyone's going to come try and get a good deal on it. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a numbers guy, so it makes sense.
All right. And so you remember when the market was real hot, like in 2003, 4, and 5? You remember it was super hot?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so buyers' perception was that the prices were going up, right? So what the price was initially, they thought, but maybe wasn't so because they were just waiting because they knew so many buyers were out looking around, that the market would be under market value in the next month or 2 months or whatever the perception was, right? So when you have more buyers looking at property, whether it's real or not in regards to the market value, more buyers means more what?
demand.
More demand.
Yeah.
Right. And so that probably does what to the price?
Increases it.
Right.
Yeah.
So multiple offers, even when you're priced below market value, inevitably causes properties to sell at or over market value. It's an aggressive technique, right? But what actually was happening when the market was super hot, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. Even still, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
There's a couple homes in here that they ended up selling for more because I think one of my neighbors just got 4 or 5 offers, but I don't know how they priced the home, if they were just giving it away or what happened with it. But yeah, I mean, I still see that it happens.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly, right? That exactly is happening. So when properties priced over market value, right? Just 10% over market value. Well, just 10%, but 10% over market value is yielding only how many of the buyers looking on the market?
It says only 2%.
2%. So how do you think that affects how long you end up on the market if you start over market value? If you only have a smaller percentage of the buyers looking, how do you think that affects how long you're on the market?
Yeah, I guess it would take longer. I mean,
Yeah.
It just depends on who that buyer is, though. If it's the right buyer, you never know what could happen.
Sure.
So.
Right. Yeah. And you've heard the saying, numbers don't lie, right?
Yeah, of course.
We want to play the numbers when we're talking about, I mean, geez, this is a $500,000 investment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure, like a good accountant, like a good attorney, like a good doctor, make sure that we play the numbers so that you win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm a finance guy, so.
Yeah, exactly. All right, great. So now that we understand as far as what's happening with pricing versus value, right? Making sure that we have a clear picture on that. Let's take a look at the market. Now, the Clark County record has your property 4 bedrooms, which it is, right? And 4892. I'm familiar with this model in the neighborhood, and it's exactly laid out like the other models, and you're aware that it was 4892 square feet. Now, did you know how big the lot was?
No, I don't know the exact square footage.
How much does it shows right there on the Clark County record? What does it say?
7841.
Yeah, you think that's about right?
Yeah, how many acres is that?
Yeah, that's under a quarter of an acre, so it's because a quarter of an acre is right about 11,000 square feet, so you're looking 7841 for your lot square footage. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so let's take a look at what the recent comps have been doing. Okay. Now, here we have a model match, right? A model match here closed. Okay. Now the square footage.
It's the same,
Right.
4892.
Yep. Now bedrooms. What do you see there?
Yeah, they have 5, so
So
an extra bedroom.
an extra bedroom. It was the loft upstairs they converted because you have that real big loft.
Right.
They
Yeah,
can-
some people might like the loft better. I don't know.
Well, it's give and take. It depends on the buyer, the type of buyer looking for the property. Right now, this property here actually had a pool. Okay, and it closed for, again, what was the price?
That it closed at?
Yeah.
568.
568.8, right? 568.8. Okay, and how many days on market there?
Less than a month.
Yeah, 22 days on market, right? DOM is days on market. Now, 22 days put them right at that time frame for the most buyers looking at the property. They were priced right? And it cost the home to sell for a good price, right? Now, this property here, okay? Now, it was a little bit smaller, right? But how many days on market?
Which one on the top there?
Yep. How many days on market there?
107. So what is that?
Yeah.
4 months, 3 months?
Right. And look at here. The actual list price to sell price is almost 20% difference, right? Yeah, 107 days on the market, right? So does it look like the buyers tried to drag them down as far as how far they started from where they came down?
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, isn't that reflected from what we were talking about as far as days on market?
Yeah, you mean if it's on there longer, they try and
Pull you down
lowball it.
further,
Yeah.
right? And we're not looking to be in that boat.
No,
right? As far
definitely
as-
not.
Yeah, and then how many days on market for here, this one?
97.
Now, this one again was a little bit smaller, right? And the price per square foot, now the one that closed at 568, the price per square foot was what?
It sold at 116.
Right.
Or sorry, the price was 120. Sold at 116.
And then up here we had what was the price per square foot on this one?
117. Sold for 114.
114, right? And we said 97 days on the market, right? So here's the thing: based on this property here closing with a pool, right? right? At 568, what do you think buyers are saying right now in regards to the value of property for a property like yours, but with more features and benefits, without a pool? What would you say buyers are more likely to think the value of your property is going to be worth?
I don't know. I mean, is this one similar to ours as far as what does it look like?
Yeah, yep. As a model match, it actually had stainless steel appliances. You have what, they're in great shape, but the white is, tends to not be as an attractive feature. You have granite, they have granite. You have plantation shutters, they had plantation shutters. There was some upgrades in the fixtures in regards to the lights and the chandeliers. But honestly, it was pretty close outside of the stainless steel appliances and the pool, the backyard.
How much does the pool add?
The pool in this price range could add anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 or $40,000. Because of the lot size, it's a little bit smaller. The pool wasn't this big grandioso pool. You're looking probably somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 in regards to the pool value. Right. And so let's just call it $20,000 to be conservative, right? Let's call that 570. 570 minus 20 puts us at what?
550.
Yeah, right. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Let's get started at a price point of 550. All right, that way. Okay.
No, I don't think that's absolutely not. That's way too low.
Yeah, it's tough. I know. Wasn't what you expected at first, right?
No, I mean, we expected, like, one of those on there, we expected to list at least at 575. Yeah.
Right. And so at 575, if we were to start at 575 and buyers were shopping, right? And you're a buyer and you're looking around and you tell your agent, hey, Paul, you know what? I like this house. I like this house. Let's make an offer on it. I think we'd like to make an offer. And I say, okay, Dan, let's go back to the office. Let's take a look at it. We pull up the comps. We look at that property that sold at 568. And I tell you, Dan, this one here closed at 568. Pool, similar condition. What kind of offer you want to make? I mean, do you think they'll really make an offer at 575?
No, but they always offer less in the list.
Right.
So, I mean, that's why I want to list at 575.
Yeah, and you're right. I can completely appreciate as a homeowner the fact that you don't want to leave any money on the table.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely not.
I mean, isn't that what you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I totally respect that 100%. And so, as a professional, right, just like a good doctor, a good attorney, how important is it, do you think, to make sure that I tell my clients the truth?
Yeah, it's really important.
I mean, obviously.
I would hope so. I mean, I've actually seen other agents that told us we could sell it for $600, $650. I knew they were, full of crap, but
right. Now, you're leaving for Atlanta in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Right. And so now this is a great community. I mean, Guard Gate, it's beautiful. There's no problem with the property. Gorgeous. No problem with the community. So really, the only thing that's going to get in the way of the property selling really is going to be what?
Yeah, the price.
The price,
right?
And so with you leaving in a couple of days, how's it going to feel with the property being vacant, even with an alarm system like you have, right? Where we end up in this area here. When we're in the 6th or 7th benchmark there, and the property still hasn't sold, how does that make you feel?
Not good. I mean, I see what you're saying. I just don't agree that I think we would be there. I think if we listed at 575, we could still sell it maybe in the first month. I don't know.
Right. And yet we just had a closing at 568 with a pool, right? And like you said earlier, right? The numbers don't lie. So here's the thing. And listen, I completely respect, again, you wanting to get the most money out of the property. So if we're listing based on what fair market value is, right? And we're here, and we receive. Now let's look at it this way: if we're here, right, fair market value, right? Do you think there's a better opportunity to receive offers or an offer, or maybe best case scenario, multiple offers, versus if I'm here? Well, listen, lightning could strike, right?
Yeah.
But
I see what you're saying, though. It's not as likely. I mean, it's not.
Right, and here's the thing: with you already moving to Atlanta, having one more headache on your plate in regards to what's happening with the property. It's vacant. Or when is it going to sell? How many more payments do I have to make, right? I mean, these are all things that ultimately, how's that going to affect what you're doing in Atlanta?
Yeah, it wouldn't be good. I don't want to. It's already been stress for our family, to be honest, Paul. So, yeah, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Again, I'm on board here, right? As a homeowner, as somebody who's sold properties like this before personally, I know just how important it is to defend every single penny to make sure that you get the most money possible. So here's the thing. I'm going to do that today, okay? Promise you that I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure we get the highest price possible based on what the market's doing, okay? So that you don't have to worry about that in Atlanta, and we can put this to rest and move on with the next step, okay? So I'll make that commitment right now. Let's just get started, okay?
Yeah, I'll think about it, but I'm not gonna sign anything today. I think at 575, I don't know, or at 550, I don't know if that's something, I'll have to think about that. I won't.
No, it's a big decision. I mean, you're talking about $500,000. I wouldn't take it lightly either.
Yeah.
Right? And you said you're leaving on Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's take a look real quick at what it would mean if we could, how much money you would put in your pocket at the end of the day. Okay? Because ultimately, this is responding here. Ultimately, for you to think about it, we're really talking about three things to get a property sold. Usually when somebody says that they think about it, you're still concerned, right?
Yeah.
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 Right.
I'm just not sure. As far as the price, that's really what I'm concerned with. Just, I don't know, we had a lot of things that we wanted to do with the money. And what does it say here as far as?
This is your net here.
Okay.
Your seller's estimated net is, what's the amount there?
510.
Right, $510,000 is ultimately, that's going to be your net, costs, taxes, escrow, commissions, everything out of your pocket when the property sells at 550.
Yeah,
right?
so I know there's some things we wanted to do as far as buying the house there, and we had some student loan debt between my wife and I that we wanted to pay off too, that we were counting on paying with this house, and it's going to be cutting it close with this, which is, I mean, that's why I'm a little bit concerned, you know what I mean?
Sure, I 100%. I mean, there's a lot of money moving around the table here in regards to what's going to happen. Here's the bottom line. There's no question, you're selling the house.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to happen.
And as far as the price, I mean, I don't love the price, but it is what it is on the numbers, and the market's highest yield is looks like it's going to be somewhere right around 550. I mean, I know you don't love it, but that's what we can agree that's what the market's doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. And ultimately then, when we're talking about thinking about it, making sure you feel comfortable with the right agent. As far as what you got to look at on the marketing side for what our company's going to do. I mean, you were comfortable with that, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I hear great things about Berkshire Hathaway, one of the best companies that, in my opinion, that I've heard of. So I definitely trust. I know just for you to work there, they probably have some high standards. So
definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's not really a concern for me. It's just comes down to, I guess we're just not going to be able to pay those things that we thought we were going to be able to, making some of those decisions. I'll have to talk to my wife and see how she wants to deal with that as far as being a little bit shorter than we thought.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you feel comfortable with me as far as how I've communicated to you and presented professionally and clearly.
Definitely been professional.
Right. And was there anything I missed in regards to what anyone else has said, or another agent or a friend?
No, like I said, we've had those people that I knew they were jokesters when they said 600 or 650. I mean, I'm a savvy guy. I know that's not realistic. So I appreciate that you're being honest with me and everything. It's just, it's a little tough. So.
Right. So what's going to feel better in 30 days when, what would feel better? In 60 days, I hand you a check for $500,000, or we're sitting here having a conversation how the last sale with a pool closed at $550,000.
Yeah.
What's going to feel better?
I mean, if I got paid in 60 days, that would definitely feel better.
Right. So let's take a good piece of advice in regards to it is what it is. Listen, I promise I will fight tooth and nail to get the highest price possible. And in 60 days, we're talking about handing you a check versus dealing with people trying to drag you down on price. All right, so let's get a check in your head. Listen, I know you still have to talk to your wife about how you're going to maneuver those other money items, and you guys are going to do that regardless. But let's get the paperwork started now, at least so that when you're leaving in 2 days, you know, I can start getting these things done that are going to take a few weeks to take care of anyways. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I appreciate your time, man. Let's get started.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.